using procurement, program and control. As a small biz pro, and so we grow, using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Coach Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And folks, this weekend is going to be Father's Day. So I want you guys to be prepared for that. Get ready. And moms and kids, make sure you get the gifts ready. You know, it's about time we get our gifts.
Yeah, it's Mother's Day generally gets so much more hype. I was just thinking that the other day. It's like by now we would have had all kinds of conversations about Mother's Day, and there would have been tons of commercials and tons of dad gifts and all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, we're not seeing that.
I'm telling you, man, they treat us bad. They treat us poorly. They treat us dads poorly.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with you that is definitely something that doesn't. The equity is interesting.
Man, they don't recognize us at all, man. This is crazy.
But we want to say this: Happy Father's Day, dads. You are just as important to the family unit as women are. Child needs both parents, mom and dad, because you each contribute something very special to the healthiness of your children. So,
well, thank you, co-host. Thank you for that. You're the only woman out there that's giving props and the flowers to us. So thank you for that, co-host.
Yeah, so I contribute, and that's for dads that actually have they're the dad and the surrogate dad and the mentor and the coach. If you're working with young people, all of you bring such value to young people. So there you go.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That's going to go a long way for all of us fathers out there who are within the sound of your voice. We appreciate that.
Yeah. And you know, it's interesting. So this week was the beginning of Biz Camp. So I was just running in from our very first week. We completed that. Today we actually had a field trip. But I say that because today when we did the field trip, we had a child that both the father and the mother came out.
Oh, that's great.
And to participate. Usually it's the mom, right? But this time the mom and the dad came to be with the child. We did the wholesale trip. So they were both of them were our chaperones for a couple of the kids. And so it was really, really great to have a dad included, because generally it is just the mom. Somehow or another, unless the father has become the single parent of the child, somehow or another, it does appear that mom gets all mommy duties, include dropping them off, picking them up, taking them here, taking them there, doing all that sort of stuff. So I guess that could be it. But I do have some friends that are incredible fathers and are very much active in their sons and their daughters' lives. So,
well, I just want to say to all the dads who feel very abandoned out there, I'm in your corner, brothers. I'm in your corner. I'm rooting for you, and I'm fighting for this law so that men get recognized. We don't just want one day. We want a whole month.
whole month. Yeah, there we go. So, so how was your week, Gilbert?
Oh man, my week was it was full of work, chock full of work. You know, trying to help clients here, there, and everywhere. Kind of lost track of the days in the week, so it was Friday, and I didn't even realize. I'm thinking today was Wednesday. So.
Woo. I guess if I hadn't had, well, usually what dictates my week is that Monday I usually have a podcast that I do with someone that we talk about retirement. So that's, I know where Monday is. I know
Mhm.
Tuesday I'm marketing for the community briefing bikes, which is on Thursday. So I definitely know what Thursday is, and so therefore it's very easy for me to identify Friday. But this week, because of the program, and we just launched it, so first day was Monday morning at a bright and early. I had to be at the school at 7:30. So we already know as a entrepreneur that sets their own hours, uh, 7:30 in the morning is not a time that I set in my world,
That's not on our calendar at all.
which meant that I had to be up at 5:30 in the morning in order to get there by 7:30. And by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it was more around leaving the house at 7:30. Again, that means I'm already up, so I'm leaving at 7:30 to get there at 8 o'clock. So I've been adjusting to that, and, and then we go on to 2 o'clock. Um, and then I got to run to the other side, back to my side of the town, so I can now run my other business. So it's been an adjustment. Next week I will be fine, guys. But this week, wow, I'm surprised I don't have bags like down here somewhere. Bags. Thank God
Well,
I got good skin.
you come from good lineage, and you got superwoman genes in your family. So
Yeah, cause whoa. But but here's what. So here, if the whole entire week was amazing, we got some amazing kids. I only had to set some standards a couple of times, but there's one child. Actually, I think there's two children in my classroom that are autistic,
mhm.
and one of them more so. One extremely high functioning, so it really doesn't. There's some nuances there, but then there's a young man who has to come with his mother because he's always got an aide with him during regular school year, but his mother is his aide this summer. But I want to tell you, this is the highest compliment that um I have received in the 14 years that I have worked with kids,
Oh wow.
with the Biz Camp. And that compliment was yesterday. She said to me, we had an activity, and I had to make sure her son was being included in the activity so he didn't feel excluded,
Mhm.
because of his learning disability, right?
Right.
And so his afterwards, and his mom is in the class for the whole entire time. So she came up to me and she said, Miss Crystal, I want to tell you that this has been the best week of our entire life. And I went, okay. She says, my son is having such an amazing time. He is learning so much. And on top of that, she says, for me, this is probably, we've gone a whole week without him having a outburst or a tantrum or saying mean things because he has some challenges, right? She goes,
Yeah.
I've never seen him smile so much.
Wow.
And she goes, and he actually has gone out, and he wants me to stay behind so he can go have lunch with the kids by himself. So he's
Wow.
even showing independence,
Mhm.
and wanting to be. He hasn't quite joined in with the other kids, but
Right.
he actually is enjoying. And today, when we went to the wholesale, he was smiling from ear to ear.
That is great, man. I always love that, man, when kids, start immersing themselves in certain topics, certain subjects, certain courses. I just love that because it's very easy for them to lose their attention span and start doing other things.
Right.
So this is great.
Yeah, he was. I was just like, oh my God, that's just I told her, I said, thank you so much. I will share that with Miss Rhonda. Because I mean, it's one thing when it comes from, um, children that functioning like regular, just children, but
Yeah.
it's a whole nother thing when, when it um, comes from a child that has special needs, because
Mm-hmm.
that's not easy to, there, I gotta think differently when I'm speaking to him. I gotta make sure he understands. And then, other kids can be quite cruel if they choose
Mm-hmm.
to be, but
Right.
they actually are even rising to the occasion as well.
Right. Right. Right.
And so I am just, that was like the best. I
Right.
told Rhonda, I said, well, we can actually have graduation now. We can have culmination and presentation time because I'm done.
I
Mission
hear you.
accomplished.
I hear you, man. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I love this part. So, welcome, guys, to the community briefing. Our guest has come. Sorry, Byron. We will bring you on in a few minutes. Gilbert and I are going to finish our crosstalk, and then we will bring you on. We have this, I think, this is like the sign of what future looks like, right? So,
Yeah.
our guest today is a young man that actually is a certified professional drone, I guess let me rephrase that, a certified drone professional, and
Mm-hmm.
he uses it in his business for marketing, providing marketing services for other entities, and he'll tell you all about that. But he does aerial photography, and he's going to tell you how that works with with all industries. And so this is the first for us. I think this is the first time I've actually spoken to a professional drone operator. How about you?
I've spoken to quite a few of them, and
Okay.
even the police, they're using drone in a very effective kind of way right now. When they stormed Diddy's compound, that's what they did. They used a drone to do surveillance on his place to see if he was there and who was there. You see what I'm saying? So
Oh,
yeah, the
okay.
police, they're using, even military, they're using that, on a high level right now. And there's so many other things that can be accomplished using the drone. I'm sure our guests will talk about some of that, but people are using it like real estate. They're using that to kind of scout out properties and check it out, because some properties you cannot access. So they just do an outside surveillance of it to see, to give you stats and statistics on it. Um, Also in the construction trade, they use that too on
Yeah.
project. I know when we were doing our roof for the HOA, they use a drone to go up there and scout the roof and kind of let us know how terrible of a shape it was in. So yeah, I'm sure our guests will enlighten us on some of this. And
Yeah. In
this
fact,
is this is an emerging field, man, and you can make a lot of money on this.
yeah,
I
I
can't wait to hear
see.
what he has to say.
Yeah, I see, and that's, when you look at his website, that's what it outlines, those areas. But I was watching a show last night. Actually, it was a crime show, CSI. I love
Hmm.
all those crime shows,
Hmm.
and ironically, that's what they had. They had taken drone operators and
Yeah.
trained them how to do military combat.
Hmm.
And so this one person was having a really difficult time
Yeah.
with what the outcome of that was, because they weren't trained military. So yeah.
I want to give you a quick little story here. I know we got to bring our guest on, but
Okay.
I think this will give you a chuckle. So this one dude, was in a like an 15-year relationship with his lady, and
Okay.
he suspected that she was cheating, but he couldn't really
Mm.
prove it. So
Okay.
he whipped out, he got and purchased a drone, learned how to use it and all of that. So he used the drone to follow her.
She didn't know that she was being followed.
She didn't know because she's in the car. She's driving, and he's outside, so the drone is above her in the air. So it's floating around, and it was quiet. So she didn't know it was there. So he watched her, got out of her car, go to the boyfriend or the lover's place, and spend like hours, and then come back out, and she's all lovey-dovey with the lover.
Oh man.
So he's there taking videos of all of this.
Oh
And then
man.
he pulled up on her and said, "Listen, man, you can't deny it. I caught you on camera. My drone picked you up." And then she got upset with him, and she, left the scene, and like she was going back to the lover's place. So
Oh
he had the
man. Now
drone.
that.
He had the drone continue to follow her, and she's going crazy. She's going, "Get this drone away from me! Stop following me!"
Whoa, that's some high level investigation.
So yeah. So I thought it was funny, man. So who knows? Maybe our guest has some stories that he can share.
So that,
with us.
there you go. A private detective
Private
detective
detective,
that
man.
uses a drone as his tool, not taking pictures from 900 feet away, laid down on top of the roof. He got the drones as private. Wow. Okay. High level, high tech.
So those kids who like to skip school, right? Now you can have your drone follow them and say, "Hey, I know you didn't go to school today. My drone recorded everything."
That is the world we live in. High tech stuff is happening out there. Be careful.
Truth Seeker said drone Copone. Yeah.
Yep.
Drone Copone.
Yeah, wow. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, be careful if you're stepping out, know that there could be drones over your head tracking your every movement.
That is true. That is true.
So be careful. All righty. So we're gonna actually get started and meet our guest and talk about whether or not he's had any of those experiences.
I'm sure he probably has some good ones that he wants to share.
Right, exactly. But I do think, especially I'm in a business mode, and I will be that way for the next couple of weeks because of the kids.
Yeah.
That it's so everything when it comes to marketing is really, that's one of the things we're going to focus with the kids, that when they say, okay, I'm going to market my business, when they say, hey, I'm going to do it on social media, okay, now I want to drill down deeper on what does that really mean, right? Instead
exactly.
Of just right, because you get that all the time, and then people go, I'm not getting any customers because you don't have a marketing plan.
They think if they open up their doors, then people will come, and that's been like an old fable that doesn't really work. So it's crazy.
No, it does not. You just because you got a banner and you put it outside, if nobody knows it, you are absolutely the best kept secret.
Do you want to tell the audience how to subscribe to our YouTube account?
Let's do that. So, guys, if you want to be tuned in every week to an amazing podcast that is talking about business and how to go about being successful at business, as well as meet some incredible guests, this is the place to be at the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert every Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. And you can subscribe to our channel. We really ask you to help us grow our channel by subscribing to our channel. You can use the QR code right here, or you can go to the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and you can check, and you will be notified every time we go live. We are streaming live on Facebook, several of them actually, but on the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert Facebook page, as well as LinkedIn, and as well as Twitter and YouTube. So go on over there and hit that subscribe button and become a viewer of our wonderful show. We've been on the air as of July 7th, 8 years. And we have over 700 plus of videos in our archive. So check them out.
And our anniversary is coming up.
Our anniversary is coming up. It will be here sooner than later. So
Yep,
with
yep,
that, I'm going to bring our guest on, Gilbert.
yep.
And so let me bring him in and change us up a little bit here. So he is here and you are there. Hi, Byron. How are you? Can you hear us?
Thank you, Fernando.
Hey,
Fernando
Fernando.
said congratulations.
Hello, Byron. How are you?
Can you hear us, Byron? Can you hear us?
How's it going? Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes, we can now. Hello, welcome to the Business Zone. Sorry, got places mixed up. Welcome to the Business Zone. We are so. What happened? We lost him.
Oh,
There
he is.
Okay.
All right.
Let me move you to the spotlight. Welcome to the Business Zone. Glad to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, glad to have you. As you see, Gilbert and I were having conversations about a new point of view and of marketing, and also private detecting.
Tell our audience who our guest is and what type of magic he's going to provide.
So, Byron, I don't think I found a bio, so I'm going to have you tell us, but I will say...
Yeah, let him be the bio.
You will be the bio, but he does have a company called Drone Copone, and he provides aerial drone photography services near Los Angeles. He will explain what that means, but photography and videography. In addition to that, he's FAA licensed, fully insured, and he can provide services for you, drone and photography services if you're in real estate, construction, event planning, film footage, and he's going to go into more details. Some of it Gilbert have already said to you, but he's going to tell us who he is, how he came about being in the drone business, what inspired that, and I believe you're also here as a professional for procurement opportunities.
Yes, I do wear hats.
So we're going to have a lively conversation today.
Well, our audience can't wait.
On all things Byron Mumford.
Welcome to the Business Zone, sir.
Right, yeah, thanks for having me. But I mean, yeah, you said it right. Basically, I'm a certified drone pilot and do everything like aerial photography. It really is videography services. The drone can't take pictures, but I specialize in more videography type photography or aerial events, and pretty much anything dealing with like you were saying, event planning. I have a lot of like artists who try to make music videos, let's just say, content creation, small businesses who want to make social media posts. They want, like, a cool drone shot of the area that they're in, for example. And I pretty much do all of that. And then once I'm done with the drone shots, I actually edit the videos as well. So doing all the process that takes to edit the video and make it look nice and crispy to put online. So that's pretty much it.
Give us an example of an event that you actually use the drone to record. What type of event would that be? Like a gala?
Yeah, like a gala. I was doing like a parade. It was like a Memorial Day parade. So it was like last year. I'm gonna have a partner who does like live streaming throughout Los Angeles. So we partnered up, and I just like flew the drone and just kind of saw like the parade as it went by, and he was able to connect it within his platform and like show like the live streaming of like the parade, for example.
So like the Rose Bowl coming up, you'll be out there with your drone capturing all of that too, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I could actually, if I was.
Yeah, you could make some money off that.
Right. Exactly. And people love seeing those drone shots, like the aerial views.
Because the Rose Bowl is an international event. People from all over the world come here every year to watch the Rose Bowl. So if you can capture that and make a quick video and put it out there, man. You know, the little highlights of the event.
Right.
Okay, I'll just collect my 10% royalty after you do that. Okay.
I think also with the festival that the Sentinel does every year.
Yeah,
With
the soul taste of
Taste of Soul, that
yeah.
any kind of event. So let me ask this: were you always were you a photographer? When did this come about? What was the inspiration behind? How did you get into drone photography?
Yeah, no, good question. Really, I just started around the pandemic time. So, like you were saying, like my primary job is a contracting specialist. And I was living in like the DMV, like outside of DC in Maryland. So they call it the DMV area. So I was working from home, and I had a bright idea. Let me buy a drone because I can look at the different monuments in Washington DC. Little did I know, like there's a no-fly zone in DC, so you have to actually be like 30 miles outside of the DC area to even fly a drone. So when I bought the drone, I realized that I was like, oh dang, I can't even fly it in this area without like getting permission, from the Secret Service, for example. So I took my show on the road because I was working from home and just went to different cities that I like Miami, for example. I came out here to like LA to have friends out here. And my parents live in Charlotte, North Carolina. So this is around the time when the Black Lives Matter murals were on the streets. So I was going to each city and it's like capturing the Black Lives Matter murals from the air. So you're able to see, the whole thing from like the bird's eye view. And so just by doing that and then like posting the videos, they weren't that clear. So then I went down that rabbit hole. How can I make my video clearer, like online? So fire truck going by. So, long story short, just YouTube University figured out how to actually make a clear video. Went through that whole editing process. When I do shoot the videos, it's got a little bit more wiser on what types of shots look better, like on a phone versus on a TV, and just became like more of a professional when it comes to like shooting the video and then editing the video. And then
go ahead.
I was going to say, so basically with that, this is like the entertainment capital here in LA. So I was looking for a job to actually pay to relocate me to move here. So I still have my 9-to-5, but I was able to do the drone work on the side. Right. So just meeting people and networking with people, my business has expanded, since that time frame. That was about 3.5 years ago at this point.
Wow. So just so our audience know what you meant when you said DMV, because a lot of people are not familiar with that phrase. I mean, people who operate within the Washington area and Virginia and all that, they know that. But the DMV folks that he's referring to, he said he wasn't authorized to use a drone because of the strict airspace rules. D means Washington, D.C., and M means Maryland, and the V is Virginia. So that's what you're talking about, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So just want to let the audience know, because some people might go, DMV? Why is it DMV?
Department of Motor Vehicles.
Well, just imagine if they didn't have a no, but I understand why they do have a no-fly zone. But during the insurrection on January 6th, that would have been some heck of some shots.
That would be cool, man. If you have your drone right in their face when they're climbing the wall. Say, yes, you are guilty.
That's probably why they don't have a no zone. They have a no fly zone, but I get it, because you don't know who the heck would be sending a zone over to the DC area.
Well, that's hilarious, cool, man.
When I was telling Gilbert, so I do a youth entrepreneur program every summer, and so this is our first week, and the very first thing, in order to start to really tap into what the business ideas and opportunities can be when you're looking to start a new business, is to tap into your hobbies and your interests. So that's usually where I start with the kids, is and your special skill sets, right? and then can you create a business and can it be profitable? So in your case, you actually have taken something that you really is a hobby or a special interest of yours and created a business out of it.
Yes.
That is
that's the best
cool.
thing too, because now when I'm working, it doesn't really feel like work. It's more like, something for fun, networking with people. And one of my models is like my clients like to put them in their best light. So whenever I am shooting, I always want to make sure they look good. So just like knowing what kind of angles to go from, the lighting, all that kind of stuff. And then when I'm editing, just making sure like the whole color correction and just like whatever I am shooting, whatever it's for, that they look their best in, whether it's a business or a person.
So do you have a light on the drone that shines on the subject and, make them look decent, well lit?
Yeah, well lit. Yeah. So there is a little light on there. So at night, for example, if I'm close by, it'll come on. So they're able to see like the top of their head or their forehead. Just like the top looking down. So
see someone like me out there in the nighttime, he won't see me at all. I'll be incognito.
So obviously they're different. So the drone is the camera or the photography, the camera or the a video is built into this particular drone. I mean, there different types of drones, right?
Right, correct. There's a lot of different types of drones actually. And the main thing you pay for when it comes to the drone is the camera. So depending on how heavy the camera is, the drone would be bigger. So for a lot of productions, like here in LA, for example, they would have these like really big drones because they use like the Blackmagic cameras. They're like about, like so big. So, I mean, just to be able to carry something like that, it may be about 15, 20 pounds. You're going to need a bigger drone for that. But my camera, it's still 4K and it's still like studio quality, like high definition quality, but it's a lot smaller. So the drone I have is a lot smaller than like, a studio drone. But you still get that cinematic look. And especially with the editing, you can make it look as professional as you can.
Now, were you a digital photographer before, or just a regular traditional type of photographer before you got into
it's funny,
this specialty?
Before the pandemic, I really wasn't doing too much creative stuff. Besides just like, doing a lot of reading, so like I write poetry, let's say, for example. So as far as my creative endeavors, that's about as far as it went. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and videos that I watch have like affirmations, and they play like, like jazz music or just some like calming music. And they always have like these scenic shots. So just kind of looking at that, I always thought to myself, oh, it'd be cool to have a drone and be able to recreate something like this. But it's very simple. You just like put affirmations on the screen and just show like the scenery of like wherever area you're in. So when, like I said, when the pandemic came and I had all that time on my hands working from home, I thought, let me go ahead and buy a drone and just see how I can like, maybe recreate one of these videos that I'm watching.
Wow.
And that snowballed until like me being here in LA right now and having a whole business. So,
now that's an opportunity that presented itself and you jumped all over it.
Right, yeah, definitely.
Wow. So but now are you doing both businesses? And we're going to talk about that because that is actually your certification in procurement is Gilbert's sweet spot. That's what he does in his business coaching. Are you doing that here as well, or are you just doing the drone?
No, I'm doing both actually. The 9 to 5 is definitely the procurement or the acquisition work that I do, and like kind of like side business, which hopefully it can be more the main business at some point in time, is the videography and drone work. Okay. That's like more like a passion of love, I would say, the drone photography. And plus there's a need. A lot of people want to be in front of the camera. A lot of people who are photographers, like you were saying, or videographers, don't specialize in drones. And a lot of times the people that do specialize in it, they charge like an arm and a leg. Like I said, they have these bigger drones, but they're doing it more on a like a professional level as far as like working for a studio or having like the Netflix ready type cameras on there. So I'm doing it like just a level below that. So like you're average person or somebody that's trying to get into the industry or just trying to make content can have access to like a drone as well, and the same type of like, area videography footage.
Okay.
So tell me about how the contract and procurement piece, how do you work that? I mean, how long have you been in that space and how do you work it?
Yeah, so that's so I actually got a degree. I have like my undergrad in business. Then I got a master's at Florida Institute of Technology back in 2009, 2012 actually, in acquisition and procurement.
FIT, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah, in Melbourne, Florida. So
Yeah.
in acquisition management. So I've actually been doing that for over 10 years, and that was why I was in the DMV area. I had a government job working for like DCMA, which is
That area is big for procurement, man, and contracts,
right.
and a lot of minorities get contracts in that area.
Exactly. So, and that's what I found out. Like, I was in Alabama when I went to school, and there was a base called Redstone Arsenal. So, a lot of military people, they kind of introduced me into the field. So, long story short, they were saying, "Oh, you need to get into this field because the baby boomers are retiring. There's going to be a need, for people in that field, and it pays well." So, just taking advice from a person that I knew, just went down that road, and then it led me to the DMV, DC in particular. And so I worked there for a few different companies and doing that kind of work. So if you're familiar with the procurement process, it's a whole like acquisition process, and like they call it from the cradle to the grave. So like when you're putting the RFP out there, the solicitation, that whole pre-award process. And then once the company gets awarded, well, really the selection process. Then once the company gets awarded, then there's all the management of the contract. And then of course there's a closeout part. That's pretty much the acquisition life cycle. And I pretty much have touched each part of that life cycle management throughout my career, working for different companies.
So what part of that are you focused on right now?
Right now, it's pretty much like the you can say the middle part of it, the management part of the acquisition life cycle.
So contract management.
Right. Yeah. Making sure that any deliverables are met, any kind of issues with the contract, whether it be on the government side or the vendor side, it gets hashed out. Any kind of modification to the contract throughout the term, making sure all those.
So do you set goals, and do you also do contract compliance, or just?
Not really. I focus on also like the small business aspect, trying to connect small businesses with those funds.
Okay, so you do outreach.
Yes, correct. Yep. So a lot of people don't know that the government is a customer as well, and they buy
the biggest one.
is exactly the biggest one. So our tax dollars go to a lot of it. So a lot of people just don't know. Like the government doesn't do any work on their own. They always contract that stuff out, whether it be a service or a product. So just finding businesses that qualify, that are already like have their business structure and everything ready, and then getting them registered. I kind of focus on now here in California, so I don't do the national ones, so going on like SAM and doing all that. But I mean, I've done that for businesses, but just here, like in LA County, for example, a business has to be just in this area, and then they have to be maybe registered on a particular site so they get solicitations. And then as long as they can, I've helped them put the bid package together and then submit it. Keep our fingers crossed, but it's not guaranteed that we will win. But, we keep on doing it like that, and then get in touch with the procurement officers, for example. You have a better chance of like winning those contracts.
So are you working for an agency here in California right now, or you're doing this privately, your own business?
Right. Yeah, I'm doing it privately at this point in time, my own business.
Okay, so you're a professional services consultant, right?
Right. Correct.
Okay, good. So, and how long have you been doing that on your own?
On my own, probably since the last couple years. So since I moved out here.
Since 2020 or after 2020?
I'll say 2022.
Okay.
So
All right. Because this program is primarily about that. That's what we do here. If you look in the chat, you'll see, we welcome our guests every time. It says, "Welcome to the Business Zone, the #1 entrepreneurship podcast for small and micro businesses in Southern California." That's what we do. We do coaching, We do consulting. We do workshops, different types of training. My co-host does the bookkeeping and accounting piece. I call her the guru because I don't know anyone else who does what she does the way she does it. You see what I'm saying? I hear a lot of people say, "Hey, I do bookkeeping," and then when I check them out, they don't know the difference between an accrual account or a cash basis account. Which is the basic you need to know as a bookkeeper. And and then I do the procurement side, the contract compliance, labor compliance, and all of that. So together, all of us, we provide that well-rounded services for our clients, the small and micro businesses. So yeah, that's how the site was born. This program.
Yeah, the part was because one of the things that obviously when I first met Gilbert, my business was more with just micro business owners, helping them get their books together and providing actually accounting and bookkeeping services. And then I met Gilbert. I went to a meeting, and so I wasn't really all that in tuned to procurement and supplier diversity and all that sort of stuff. So I met him because he was speaking at a meeting, and they were talking about the opportunities for minority-owned businesses, and I'm thinking, well, this is a no-brainer and a game leveler. Well, what the heck is the problem? Why are more minority-owned business, especially specifically black-owned businesses, getting certified? And I'm sitting in the audience and I'm googling, like, okay, at that time, this is a number of years ago. At that time, it was like over 800,000 black-owned businesses in the state of California. Well, what the heck is the problem here? I'm not understanding. So I started asking questions like, what is the percentage? And the percentage is like microscopic. And then I'm like, okay. And they're telling me the steps that you need to do is like, well, this is a no-brainer. They don't even have to pay for it in some cases.
Right.
The SBA will do it, or organizations in Los Angeles will help you get your certification, or it doesn't cost you to go and do it yourself, right? You just need the knowledge. So I'm not getting it at all. And so finally I said, okay, y'all need to clue me in as to why. And Gilbert had done his whole big presentation. I'm like, okay, I'm scratching my head going, I don't understand why people are leaving all these millions of dollars on the table. And then they said, so some of the obstacles is the tax returns, and they don't have an accounting system. I was like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
A lot of people just don't know that money is even available for them. Other thing, just because they may have all the qualifications, but they just don't even know, like, how do I even have access to that money or get to the money, for example, or what do I have to do, or what do I have to sell or provide to the government, for example. And I know, like with me, at least, a lot of people are just not informed. We're just giving them that information. And a lot of people, they can almost do it themselves, but I mean, it's a lot of, they're running a business. It's hard for them to do both.
Yeah.
You like come into a play like Gilbert. And so we can just help them out and just kind of lead them to that path, and then hopefully win some contracts for them.
and it's kind of so now here. Then fast forward, I went to there's a meeting that happens every year actually, but in the beginning when I first started going, it's called the Power Network Conference, and Dr. George Frazier does it, and the first 4 years that I attended this meeting was in Baltimore, Maryland. And when I walked into that room, everybody in that room were certified. Everybody was making big money because most of them lived in that DC area. And so this is my question. What is the difference between, forget the qualifications, but what are the difference of the information pipeline in DC or in the DMV as opposed to California? Because California is pretty liberal and pretty progressive, and we have some major players. You got all of the Air Forces, you got the military is all throughout the state of California, but especially in LA County and Orange County and San Diego. What is the difference between the two states? What is that pipeline of information?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think the main difference is, like in the DMV area, like the biggest employer there is the government. So like you meet somebody randomly on the street, like 9 times out of 10, they work for the government or somebody in their family works for the government. So just like word of mouth, they're going to automatically know kind of about that process, or just like the money is there and just like about that whole world. Versus here, the main employer is entertainment capital, like Hollywood. And I mean, the state is huge. It's like the 5th largest economy. So there's a lot of employers here, but like obviously in LA, at least, it's going to be entertainment. So you may meet somebody, let's just say, and they may not have no idea about that world, so to speak, you know? So I think that's the main difference. Like what you were saying, there are a lot of free resources. And like here, I'm affiliated with the LA Urban League, and they have a lot of free resources, for example. So it's just about kind of like not what you know, but who you know. If you meet the right person, they can kind of like open up that door to all the different resources and the people who are within that field here in California. But it's just not as many people are in that field versus in like the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. You meet somebody randomly, and 9 times out of 10, they work for the government and they know somebody that does. So it's just
that's a good point. That's a good point. I also had a little bit to add to that as well. So when you're in the DMV area, the Washington D.C., the Maryland, and the Virginia area, most of those contracts are federal contracts, and it's easier for a small business to access the federal contracts because there's more systems in place to make it easier for the small business to access federal contracts, you know, through the 8A program, through the SDB program, and the woman-owned small business certification program. So you have those, and then the hub zone. So you have those 4 certifications that's tied into contract, and the amount of dollars they have to spend is over 500 billion, which is half a trillion right there, right? So they have all of that money available. Here, we've got, you know, the entertainment industry, like you mentioned. Then you've got private commercial contracts as well. And then you've got city, county, and state. And those are all 3 different animals. You know, they have different requirements. And most of the times, accessing those contracts is just so complicated. So the small business, they don't really care to even look at that anymore because when they come to us for certification, they're going, listen, man, I'm sick of this. I've tried doing it and it's not working. Just do it for me, right? But in the Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia area, they have easier access to those contracting officers. They can just pick up a phone and call, and, you know, you got 24 different federal departments that they can access. You got the DOJ, the DOD, you got you got all of those, you know, the FDA, all of those different agencies. So it makes it so much easier. And then again, the feds have their outreach and accessibility to contract is much easier than cities, counties, and states. You see what I mean? So I figured it out. That's the mystery right there.
That's a good point, though. Yeah, that's a very good point. It's a lot easier for some reason on the federal level. It's because you know, they try to make it as easy as possible for people to access, like you said. And then on the state level, like you said, you got the county, you got the state, and then it's just different layers of government.
Yeah,
you know, like spell it out clearly for a person to go from A, B to C. It's like they get to A, then like getting to B, it's just like such a complex thing. You just like get frustrated,
right?
For example.
Yeah, a lot of our businesses. So Gilbert's area is, you know, you guys are actually like doing some of the same things, and he probably had the same kind of experience because he worked for Metro in the city or county,
city and county,
and in county. But it is, you know, my coaching is setting the foundation so that they can be ready. But a lot of our people are very frustrated with the process.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that are in the construction industry, you know, that's a no-brainer, because California, or especially Southern California, is always building something. So those, they do pretty well. But I think, you know, for those that are trying to get into the other spaces, the procurement on the administrative or services state purposes, they have a real challenge to do that, and eventually they become disenchanted with the whole process, and then
Yeah.
they step away. Gilbert, you know, 85% of his business is that, right?
Yeah.
So, you do more, it seems, more outside of the city of Los Angeles when you're preparing
Yeah.
businesses than you really get to do here in Los Angeles.
Right. There's something about this LA area that is just so incestuous and messy, trying to access contracts, man, and they make it so difficult. And, this is just my humble opinion, there's no empirical studies on this that we've conducted, but I just think it's easier for them to give their friend a contract, so they don't have to go through that process, and then they make it look like the person went through the process, but that's what happens. So small business gets fed up and tired of that. They're going, man, listen, man, I'm not even going to waste my time, because see, I developed a system called SmallBizPro, right, to help small businesses, and it's a back office system, and it also has procurement in it and grants. Right. So there's procurement opportunities, grants, and there's an assessment tool that helps to assess the business to make it ready, contract ready, business ready, and loan ready. Right. So the reason I developed that system is because small businesses were so fed up in trying to access the procurement system through Metro, through the county, through the city, through all these different agencies. They'll say to the small businesses, hey, in order for you to do business with us, because they have these little bogus, get together every month. They call it, how to do business with our agency, and that's crap, right? So what they do is they tell them, come on in. This is how you do it. First you register in our database, then you want to get certified, and then after you get certified, then you want to reach out to the contracting officer. You never get to reach any of their contracting officers, right? So then when the small business actually get a chance to come to the table, they start asking these small business for all kinds of documentation, which they know they don't have it, because you're out in the field. How are you going to have those documents with you? So I designed a system where they can actually access all those documents they're asking them for through their smartphone, through a tablet, and a laptop if they have it. You see what I mean?
Right.
So when they go to the table, do you have your certification? Yes, I've got it here. I got my DBE, I've got my SBE, my WBE. I've got all those different certifications. Oh, do you have your insurance? Oh yeah, we've got it right here. How about your financials? Yep, we got 3 years of it right here, because we got someone like my co-host Crystal who helps them to prepare those things. So they have it in the system. And then, they have all these other requirements that they're asking. Oh, do you have a capability statement? Yes, we do. So they can access all of that. So that's one of the things that makes it so different and easier the way we do it here on the Business Zone, to help these small businesses actually access real opportunities.
Yeah,
So,
because it's a game. Because when, like I said, and I still think that today, and this has been, well, how long have we known each other, Gilbert?
man, probably about 15 years by now, at least.
Right. So my first introduction to him was 15 years ago, and that was my first hearing of it. I'm thinking, wow, what a game changer that is.
Yeah.
But now, since I've been in, working with, we're partners in a number of things, I see that challenge. So I guess our question is, between you two people and there others, how do we, because I'm all about solutions, so how do we make that happen? Because we got some very talent. You were part of the MBDR program with the Urban League, right? You were with the creative side, Byron.
Oh yes,
Byron, can you hear her?
Yeah. Well, okay. So there's some talented people in that space that was in that space, and that's just that program. I do coaching for the Urban League, and there's some talented people that was in the SBA program. I've met some extremely talented people. I was talking on another one of my other podcasts. I was speaking with a young lady. She does. She has a wine business. It's called Love Corkscrew. So she became certified as a business owner, but not for grants because there's really nothing out there for her, right, in
Exactly.
that space. What she used it for was contact
Yes.
and referrals. So she would see maybe a RFP that was relatable to maybe doing catering or something of that,
right.
right? So
Yeah.
she would tap into that, but then she was doing it solely to meet the liaison so that liaison could introduce her to other individuals. And so consequently, she was able to get into Target. She was able to get into Bevmo, Wine and More through these contacts she made. She goes, but far as being able to, was there an RFP that I could have applied for? No, it didn't fit for her business, right?
Right.
But she used it. She figured out another way to do it. And we have a lot of business owners that are now through with the coaching of Gilbert and I. Their financials are solid. His Small Biz Pro is an excellent program. And here's an interesting thing. It's a no-brainer when you're looking at a corporation that is saying to you, and I'm sure you've heard this since you've been here. I don't know if you heard it in DC. Those businesses are never prepared, right?
Yeah.
Actually.
Yes, they always tell you that. Oh, they're never prepared. So
Yeah.
this program that Gilbert has it does an assessment, and so you just check off. So that's what we do in our coaching is to check off on turning all of those no's into yeses.
Yeah.
So now they're prepared. Now what's the problem now?
Yeah, exactly. What's the problem? Why can't they get a contract? It's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. So, and when you're in Washington, D.C., that area, did you ever get any of those federal contracts?
I really didn't. When I was there, I was really working for like the government at one point, and then working for a lot of small business.
Oh, okay. So you were helping small businesses, then.
Right. So I was more like just on the corporate side of things.
Right.
So I was just like learning the system and just learning everything about it, like throughout the time I was there. And I always had in the back of my mind, I've always been like an entrepreneur, like at heart. Like at some point in time, I'm going to be able to. I knew about the SBA and like how stuff is free, and they actually have like within certain departments of different agencies like an SBA division, and they have to have a certain quota of businesses that they can reach for their contracts. Like they have to have so many like small businesses like on a particular type of contract. So just knowing that, and they're kind of like the behind the scenes stuff. Okay, there's actually a need to hook like small businesses up with these contracts. So always like eventually I'm going to be able to like just do this for people. And so the pandemic kind of changed my outlook, and sure a lot of people's on just like working and going in, being a part of that rat race, so to speak. I mean, this is probably a good time for me to kind of step out and do my entrepreneur things. Hence why I bought the drone and everything, and then started doing more like small businesses with the federal contracts and state contracts.
My next question was going to be to you: how do you combine the drone business with the procurement business? How do you do that?
Right, yeah, it's a good question. I mean, a lot of times they don't go together because people are in the entertainment industry.
Right.
Not really. I mean, there are contracts for like maybe like media and marketing, but like a lot of times those people aren't like in the like the space to get a federal a contract, a state contract. So, but when I deal with like the small businesses that I work with, I also like to say I'm also a procurement or a small, I would say a contracting officer. I can always hook up a business with like a contract. So I always like put that out there. And depending on what kind of business they are, we kind of go down that road. Like there's somebody I know who has like a media company. And so I was doing some like social media management for her, for example. Then I told her what I do as well. And so I was just looking at the LA County procurement, and there were some like media contracts out there. So we actually put in a bid for one. We didn't win because I think prices were a little bit higher than what they were looking for on like price. So we didn't win, but like that was one that I was able to combine the two together, just like social media and like
that would have been a good one for you.
Right. Yeah.
Because
So
it may be an outdoor event, right? Because it's primarily the outdoor events you use this for, right?
right. Yeah. Sometimes indoors just depends. I have like another camera that I use as well. So if I
Uh-huh.
fly the drone inside, I use like
Yeah.
my point of view camera. And it's the
Yeah.
same camera that's on the drone, but it's just like a handheld version. So they
Yeah.
found in
Yeah.
this Osmo Pocket. So I
Right.
have a cinematic feel with that as well. So
How,
yeah.
how many people do you have on your team?
I'm a team of one actually. So,
see, that's a wrong answer right there, Byron. That's a wrong answer, man. You should say, man, we've got 12 people. One of them is the bookkeeping department. You got the accounting, accounts payable, accounts receivable. They got sales, marketing.
But do like Gilbert and I, we partner on a number of things, so therefore now the team has grown. So partnership is a great way to grow.
Oh
your
yeah.
team.
that's true. And I'm glad you said that. Actually, I do partner with another company called Drone Dudes, and they
Yeah.
have a studio in like Burbank. And I
Yeah.
have like done. Actually, I put in a couple contracts for them. There was like the
Mm-hmm.
company or the government or the state of LA was looking for like some abatement, like basically some drones to like look over this particular like wilderness area in LA. So we put in like a
Wow.
contract for that. But they have like a team of people and they do
Yeah.
like all kind of stuff for drones. So like whenever I need like more people, I can actually, bring them in, for
You can
example.
bring them in as subcontractors or independent
Right.
consultant too. See, so that you put that on your org chart as one of the resources you have. Okay,
Exactly. That's true.
don't be saying it's just you now. You got a
Right.
team of people that you work with.
Good point.
I like that name though, Drone Dudes. It's easy, it's
Right.
catchy.
Yeah.
And yours is Drone Capone, right?
Drone Capone.
And,
Can't
and why?
forget that.
And how did you come up with that name?
I'm from the Midwest originally, Indianapolis,
Okay.
like in Chicago.
Illinois area near
Right.
there.
Exactly. So just like
So
thought
yeah,
about it,
Al
like,
Capone, right?
right, exactly. And I like to fly in dangerous places, quote
Yeah.
unquote. So it's the Capone portion of it.
That's great. I love that.
I love it.
A great name. But yeah, we do know in LA, because like I said, we have so many businesses, so many minority-owned businesses. Because in some cases, it's easier to start your own business than it is to get a corporate gig. And but again, just positioning them so they're just not doing marginal, earning marginal profit, that they can do bigger, because that could really change everybody's lives, right? So, but I hear my clients' frustrations regularly, and then there's so much compliance that has to go along with that. That's another thing that they become disenfranchised with the whole process, because it's a lot easier. Um, and then we try to, like, okay, well, you don't have to be the prime, just be the sub. But one of the things, with the opportunities coming to to Los Angeles with the Olympics and FIFA, partnering up, and being part of the LA 28, that is our focus, is to help our businesses to position themselves, so that they can change and level up their businesses, because majority of the time they stay as micro businesses for way too long, earning just above what you'd make if you were working for a company. In fact, you probably make more working for a company than you do for your own business.
You know what's amazing? Before the pandemic, the stats were that there are 244,000 small businesses in the county of Los Angeles. Guess how many there are right now? Just take a wild guess.
He said, probably, I think it went up, so maybe like
Yeah,
half a million,
it went up. So guess how much it is now?
like 500,000, like 500,000.
That sounds like a good guess. It's 1.3 million small businesses. Can you believe that? 1.3.
And that's what I'm saying. And when I Googled it, the time we were sitting there was 400,000. And that was a lot. And then, of course, if you take in the whole state. So I'm
Yeah.
like baffled. Like, what the heck? Why? What's the problem? And I think I asked that question. Okay, y'all need to help me. You're going to have to explain to me what the problem is.
Unbelievable, man. 1.3 million, almost 1.4, because it's 1,397,434. So, just by the end of the year, it will be touching 1.4, man. This is wow. Amazing.
Like clients as well, there's a lot of clients that are out there that probably need some help, some structuring, like you were saying. They can use your system, Gilbert,
Yeah.
and like knowledge that they can that there's money out there for like federal state money for them, for example.
Definitely.
Yeah, a lot of businesses don't know. Well, again, when you think of procurement, and I thought this way as well. When you think of procurement, you're thinking of more construction type projects, and so we go through phases in this city when it's in the building mode, and so the next, we've been in the building mode for the last 10 years, and we got another 10 on top of that coming. Of building, so it makes sense. But then, of course, we do have a lot of corporations. But I don't know, Gilbert. So Gilbert is, he's done programs and webinar stuff for like the corporations, like the utilities and things like that. And I don't know, do they need? I know SoCal Gas is very specific about what they're looking for.
They could use that. They could use that. And here's why they could use it. Because at SoCal Gas, they're installing those meters. They're installing new meters now. And part of that is they build like a concrete structure, and then they affix the meter, new gas meters to that. So, and many of those agencies now, they're not just using a single contractor to do like, individual scope of work. They're getting a cluster of them together. So the one who does the concrete, they come in, they do their part. Then the one that installs the gas meters, they come in, and then you would be there with your drone, so they can scope out the area and get to see which location would be most suitable to install and do the cement work and install those meters. So yeah, man, you should check with them.
And I think Edison as well.
And Edison too. Yes.
Yeah, because Edison, especially when there are electrical storms or fires or what have you, and they need to assess the damage. Having a drone to be able to go and be able to see where that is, especially in the wilderness, because there's so much wilderness areas out here, and especially central California. I think that would be something as well. So, and that's what they're looking for, those real unique type of businesses. So a lot of unfortunately, when we are doing, and I do a lot of startup businesses and helping them expand, create the concept and the idea and what's a feasible business. They're not always thinking as what the future looks like, right? Tapping into where is there a problem and let me create that business to solve that problem, right? So that's a lot of the issues. They don't create businesses that's an easy transition into procurement.
Right. That is so true, man.
So maybe that's the concept. Maybe the three of us can get together. It's like, okay, here are the businesses you need to start.
Yes. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
Like I know like a lot of restaurant owners, for example, because they have social media, and so I do help them with that. So like the government really doesn't buy like food per se, but they do, but it's like on a bulk type of basis. So like if you have like a small business and it's a restaurant, it would be, unless you're doing catering, it'd be hard for like you to get a contract, let's say, for that. Let's say if you're like a laundry service or like a dry cleaner, let's say, for example, something like that would be easier to like look for a contract, because like every agency, like branch, needs to have their uniforms cleaned, for example.
Right.
easier way. So that's the way I do look at it as well. Instead of looking for the business owner, I look for the contracts and see what kind of contracts are even out there, and then find a business that can
to kind of match up with that.
Right.
Oh, now that makes sense. Yeah.
Like for a vending machine, for example, I look for some vending machine that actually won a contract for this random guy I met, like off online. He's a vending machine company in Santa Monica, and there was one for the correctional facilities here in LA County, and we won the contract. We were the only person, the actual business that bid on the contract.
Oh wow, those are the kinds of contracts I like.
I know, right? Yeah, really.
I like those because there's no competition. It's just you bidding. So what are they going to tell you? No, you didn't win it.
Yeah, when you got all your paperwork up to date and everything, you're good to go.
And then that's when you can get to dictate your price. You know, they have nothing to measure it against because there's no one competing.
Yeah, now that's a good way to go. Go through the RFPs and determine what's out there, and then go back through our database and find who can fit the criteria.
Yeah, I've tried that in the past, man. It was a lot of work for me. So, I mean, that's why my system has those contracts in there. They just go there and just look at it. You see what I'm saying? Because I used to find contracts, spend time searching for contracts, and then, send them an email or call them and say, hey, got a great opportunity here for you, man. You guys should bid on that. Then the next thing they say is, okay, can you do the proposal for us? Can you do the bid for us? They don't want to do it themselves. I think you got a good business there, though, man. And it can work independently or codependently. You can have the drone working with the contract in space if it's construction or event, outdoor type activities, roofing. The roof guy, I'm telling you, man, those roof guys. The guys we hired to do our roof, because we got like 2-story buildings here, right? The guys we hired to do the roof, man, they had that drone, man. It was just amazing. The videos that it took off the roof, because the roof was like 40 years old. It's old, and it was leaking a lot. So what they did, first of all, they survey it, then they give us a rough estimate. Then they came in and then they rip out all of the old materials. Then you get to see the true structure of the roof, see what needed to be done, how much plywood you gotta. Oh, who would be perfect for you? Now that I'm saying this, have you heard of a system called BIM? BIM, Business Information Modeling. Have you heard of that?
I don't think I've heard of that. I don't think so.
Okay, that's big. That's huge. When I was at LA Community College District, they use that when they're building the schools. And what it does, it gives you an accurate estimate of how much material you need to build a building or a facility. How many nails you need, how many screws, how many pieces of 2x4, glass for the window. And it's perfect. Because it's a digital system, so it does it right down to the last nail or to the last screw, man. And you doing what you do with the drone, whoo! I'll be admit, because you're going to take a survey of the facility first, right? And then the engineer is going to go out there, and the architect and everybody, and when they're done with that, then that's when the BIM kicks in. They're going to say, well, we're gonna need this amount of material. You should find those guys, man, and team up.
Okay, then no, it's good. BIM. Okay.
Those guys are in the Blue Book, or you can go on Google and you can search them. Have you ever used a Blue Book?
I'm thinking like Kelly's Blue Book.
Oh no. But that's night and day, man. That's night and day. So the Blue Book. The Blue Book is a big construction book that they use. All the construction firms are in it, and it's this thick. Okay. Yeah, it's about 3-4 inches thick, and it's got all the businesses, usually businesses over 5 years, because, if they're going to reach out to them, they want to make sure they have a little track record, they've done the work before, that type of thing, or maybe they're already certified or getting ready to be certified. But those are the guys you want to target, with the drone business. I'm telling you, you're going to have so much work, man, you won't even know what to do.
That's good to know. I'll look into that. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
man, this is good. This is good.
Yeah, maybe you and Gilbert can hook up and do some stuff, and definitely Gilbert, maybe show him, connect with him about SmallBizPro, because if you're out there marketing,
for sure,
SmallBizPro is such an amazing tool.
Yeah.
All of the companies looking to provide procurement opportunities should be lined up, but they don't quite get the technology, and technology is what it is, right? But if tools are what we need, and if you can assess a business before you even read the RFP,
exactly.
Right now, you're not wasting time. Because if they can't do the answer yes to these questions, then you already know that they don't meet the criteria.
Because when you do the assessment, it tells you if they have a business license, if they have insurance, if they have their financials, if they file their taxes within the last 3 years. If a business hasn't filed taxes within the last 3 years, you don't want to waste your time with them, because those documents are going to be required during the bidding process at some point. And because they're going to need insurance, they're going to need bonding and all that, and for that they need those documents. So if they don't have that, then you don't even have to bother with those companies. You move to that's why we target businesses over 5 years, because a 5-year-old business, chances are they're going to file their taxes for the last 3 years. They're going to have insurance. They're going to have bonding if they're in the construction trade. And, it's amazing.
That's true. There's one thing I wanted to say also. So on my YouTube channel, I have I created these procurement cartoons, I guess you can call them.
Oh, I like that.
With the hand and
I like that.
So basically, I have 5 of them.
Yeah.
And just like contracting 101. So like on a very simplistic level, kind of like the book for dummies, like dummies.
Yeah.
I had thought about that and created one for contracting or the procurement process.
I kind of have a video like that.
Oh, yeah.
I got Crystal. You remember the old SmallBizPro video, the one with the little cartoon? That's what it was. They're talking about, and Bill here is a general contractor, and he's got his paperwork in order.
Right, yeah. So just like to get people kind of primed to like you were saying, have all your documents ready and what the government requires.
Yeah.
What type of industries the government caters to, for example.
Yeah.
So I did that, and also for like the whole Olympics that are coming up here in 2028.
Oh yeah.
Going to be so much money flowing through the city in general, but dealing with like the whole contracting process. I know they already started building. I'm in Long Beach, for example.
Right.
They've already started to build some things for the Olympics.
Yeah.
They built the Hard Rock Cafe Hotel here.
Yeah.
I talked to one of the politicians, and he was telling me they're going to break ground on that like this year, I think. So, for example, I'm just getting people kind of like ready and primed to like get their businesses ready, so when the Olympics do come, really probably 2027, really pushing a lot of those contracts out so they can have things ready for example. So but yeah, if you go to my website, on my YouTube page, which is Drone Copone.
So just go to Drone Copone, and then I'll see all those
animations. And you spell it Copone. So it's like Copone.
So
Copone.
Drone
Copone.
Yeah, Copone.
Is it the Copone, the Drone Copone?
I don't think it comes in under the. It's just a Drone Copone, but it has like a gold and purple symbol. The drone is purple and the letters are in gold.
So it's a GoPro that you use?
No, it should be like a regular drone video. Let me see.
Drone Al Capone. Is that you or somebody else?
It's probably somebody else. It should just be Drone Copone.
Okay.
Yeah, I see one, but I see, but it doesn't have purple. Well, it's got a drone. It says the Drone Copone.
a lot of times
you're not at the top of the list, man. You got to get on the top of this list,
I know,
man.
that's another thing too. You're right about that. Like YouTube, they're trying to respell the words, like try to like correct the spelling, like put A instead of, but you guys got to make sure it's Copone.
Yeah, this is not you. There is another the drone Copone, but it was with an A. With an A.
Yes, there's another drone Copone in here, man. See, that's a problem with that. You know, people, they're gonna try to use a name that's similar. You know, if you were registered before them, you know, you can send them a cease and desist, right? Tell them, tell them you can't use this name anymore.
Right, yeah.
So that's another thing you can check out. You can use SmallBizPro to check with the Secretary of State, man, to see, you know, if there's another company with that name and when they were registered. And then if yours is before them, then you have your attorney send them a cease and desist letter.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah, man, because the thing is, if they go out and they do something bad in your name, people are going to come at you and say, hey, you're the one who did it. They're going to try to sue you. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, you want to get that clarified as quickly as possible, man. That's a liability waiting.
Okay, then. Well, yeah, I was going to say, so, but yeah, it should come up under COPO.
Yeah, I'm looking for it, but I can't find it.
If you look on the search, like right below the search, does it like try to like say, oh, we're searching for Copone instead of Copone?
They gave me a list. They gave me a list of all the Capones in here, man. So you have the CAPONE and COPONE.
Oh, okay.
So it's both Capones, but
I
none of them
found
is
it.
yours.
When you click that one, so
Click
really
which one?
when you click it'll come up and say, are you looking for Capone versus Copone? Then you click that, then you get it. But so one of the things you can do is to make sure you have your so you have your YouTube channel, but you got to go to Google and set that all up. And that way it makes sure that your it's in the system, the whole Google system, not just the YouTube channel. But I found it.
We just saved you a few $1,000s there, Byron.
But you have a lot of content here, so you definitely, and I'm gonna, if you do here we're gonna do an exchange here. You subscribe to the Business Zone, and I will subscribe to Drone Copone.
Hey, that sounds like a fair exchange. I found one of your videos, man. It says getting your business contract ready for the 2028 Olympic. This sounds just like a title I put out there, man. You sure it's not mine? You sure it's not mine? I'm gonna share this video. I'm gonna share this video.
It sounds like a partnership in the making.
Yeah. Exactly, man. And right here it says this video teaches how businesses can get ready to bid on contracts that are for the LA 2028 Olympics. And then you have hashtag contracting and hashtag California. That's you?
Yes, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, man. I see it here with a little cartoon thing. That's cool. It's like, it's 2 minutes, 28 seconds.
Yeah, so it's a quick synopsis. And like my thought process is they'll reach out if they want more information or want to walk the process all the way. But at least a person can like see this and kind of even know that the opportunity is even there for them.
Yeah.
Or if they were thinking about like starting a business, they can maybe start one in one of these industries that the government caters to, for example.
So Flow, is that you also in Miami?
Yeah, Southern Florida, correct. Yeah, that's one of the times
you.
I'm doing the pandemic.
And this is not. Oh, I see you got some hot chicks here, man. What's going on here, man? What's going on here? This looks like some fashion show thingy, right? Morpheum fashion.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. So I know some models, of course, and they needed some behind the scenes and BTS footage.
Yeah.
You would have to what's the name of that area? It's like a deserted
Bombay
Yeah.
Beach.
Correct, in California.
Yeah,
So, flew the drone, got some good like behind the scenes footage,
yeah,
made like cinematic type BTS
yeah.
video for them.
Yeah, but
This
I'm
is
gonna show
cool.
him.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
show him your SmallBizPro so you guys actually
Oh,
can have.
yes, yes.
Um,
Yeah, my
let me see.
co-host is gonna find my my little cartoon video there
Well,
to
actually,
show
I'm
you.
gonna go with. There is a cartoon one, but I'm gonna go with
Oh,
the
you're
with the
gonna do
one.
the other one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me make sure that it's gonna play because sometimes it does. It gets ridiculous and don't want to play. Um, come on, there we
Do
go.
you have a tool that organizes your company's paperwork and takes care of all your record keeping? Does your current record keeping system send you 90-day alerts to
Mm-mm. Come on.
remind you that your key documents are about to
Oh, come on.
You think YouTube is doing that on purpose?
No.
expire and need to be
so,
renewed?
man.
Can you find contracts and procurement opportunities in seconds from any of the 50 United States so you can grow your business? Is your business organized so that you can tell which key documents are needed to efficiently run the business? How about woman-owned, small business, or disadvantaged business enterprise certifications? Do you have a checklist of all the key documents you need to become certified? Does your current system allow you to conduct market research from multiple sources and provide you industry and market data in seconds? Well, SmallBizPro does all of that and more. SmallBizPro is the #1 business management, compliance, procurement assistance, and market research assistance tool on the market today. Download the app now and you will be amazed. It's like having 3 additional employees working for you. You don't have to pay them. What are you waiting for?
There you go.
Yeah, this somehow it's buffering a certain kind of way. I don't know why.
Yeah, so that's his product is SmallBizPro.
Okay, nice. That's a great
Yeah,
idea.
we're gonna have to talk, man, because I think we can work together, do some things, and for some of your clients, they might, you might be able to get them to use this platform to get pre-qualified before you even touch them, to see, hey, do I want to waste time with these guys or not?
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, but it's time. You definitely want to waste time if you can
Oh
avoid
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
When you're as old as me, man, you count every second.
And it, even for like myself, my when Gilbert was doing some consulting for the Urban League as well, and they actually had this software, the app in place, and so and some of the other organizations. So when I get a copy of it, then I kind of know what I'm working on, right? Because
Yes.
so then I can narrow right in. Okay, you don't have an accounting system, you haven't filed your taxes, so now that helps me put together my strategy as a coach on how I'm going to get them business ready, and it all kind of goes hand in hand. So business ready, contract ready, bank loan ready is all the same thing in my book because you've got to have all of those in order to do contract work,
Yeah.
right? And to be an efficient, an effective business owner, you definitely need to be bank loan ready because at
Yeah.
some point, especially if you're going into contracting, procurement, you may need a leverage, a bridge in order to make sure you can maintain your employees while you're waiting for your contract for your invoices, your receivables to come in. So they all kind of work hand in hand, which is why just was a no brainer for Gilbert and I to partner up. Not
Yeah.
outside of the business zone. I mean, the business zone was fantastic because we
Right.
complement each other with our skill set. But even when it comes to providing coaching, so a lot of times, if I have a client and I see that this business has that potential, then I'll refer them over to Gilbert so he can then help them get to that space, so that they can get everything. Because when they leave me, he knows that from a financial foundation, that's already in place.
And that's the kind of thing you want. You want to have a partner that you work with that when they vet the small business, the participant, you don't even have to go back over the work because they know their stuff. That they did a good thorough job. So you just picked up from where they left off and just continue to the next phase.
Right. It's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Partners definitely come in hand.
Oh yeah, because when Crystal goes through them, like I say, man, we do forensics on these businesses. She goes through and she checks them. She does the accounting, the bookkeeping stuff. She can just look at it and tell them some stuff that's going on in the business, and she doesn't even know. She doesn't even know them from Adam. She can tell them what's going on. Oh, so you went through this phase, huh? How do you know that? Well, I got 30 years of experience here.
Right, exactly. Or I'm listening to them and they're telling me, like a young lady the other day, and you can always tell by the hesitation in their voices. So she's telling me what they want to do, and I'm like, okay, so taxes filed. Okay, I got that answer. All are you in compliance? You got your self-employment tax. Well, and then on that one, it's interesting because they don't even know why they need to pay that self-employment tax. They think that, in most cases, they think that they're giving the state of California some money, and they don't want to do that. So that's their reluctance. And then I go, no, nothing to do with the state of California. It has to do with you paying yourself and making sure that by the time you retire, you actually have money in the system, just like when you were working, you were paying your FICA and FUTA. And they're like, really? I never knew
that. You know which one really tickles me? When they're selling a product, right? So whether they're selling a book or some item that they have to collect sales tax on, they collect the sales tax and they think that's their own money. They don't think they need to pay it back to the state, right? Because they're just collecting it for 3 months for the state, and then when it comes due, they file a report and submit the taxes that they collected. They think that's their own money, and they don't file the taxes.
Yeah, and then other than the IRS, I tell you, the EDD and the Board of Equal, I don't even think they're called the taxing or whatever they're called now. Those are the two, payroll. Yeah. Those are the two most aggressive
collection agencies.
Collection agencies in the state of California. Like, you don't want to get caught up in that at all. And so those are the things, and whether or not they have the right certification, or they have the right structure, an LLC or S corp or C corp, they don't have no clue why they're supposed to be doing that.
You know how many small businesses come to us and say, "I'm a nonprofit." So really, you're a nonprofit? So does that mean you've got your nonprofit application form that's been approved? What's that? Somebody has to deem that you're a nonprofit. You can't just get up and say, "Oh, I'm a nonprofit," and then it doesn't work that way.
Byron, there's much work to be done.
I know, right? Yeah. That's good.
That's all I'm going to tell you. There's much work to be
done. Co-host, even with my HOA, right? They're supposed to be a nonprofit, and they haven't filed. They haven't gotten any waiver from the IRS, no waiver from the state. So the state sent them a bill the other day. They're going, "What? We're a nonprofit. Why are you sending us this bill?" The state said, "Did you file for a waiver?" No. Well, you better pay.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
There's a lot. There's a lot of work to be done, and we've been doing this for a long time. But that actually, and we're gonna bring this to a close. But that's the purpose of the Business Zone actually was for information, because you can do so much on your Facebook page, but it's better when you're actually live, and then bringing people like yourself on the show to talk about what it is you do. And it sits out there on our YouTube channel, and somebody will come and go like, "Wow, that was a great show." We may not know that because they haven't subscribed, but down the line, I'll have people come up to me going, "Oh my God, that was an amazing show you did a couple weeks ago." I'm like, "Oh, okay." They have the opportunity to chat with us, but a lot of times they just listen on the backside. So
yeah, a lot of our viewers are ninja watchers, man. They don't want to subscribe. They also want to stay in the background and observe and go, "Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I like that." And then that's it. So we got to try to encourage the ninja watchers, man. It's like, come on, guys, you got to subscribe, man. It's free. Why are you worried?
Right, exactly. So it's been a fantastic, and you and Gilbert definitely need to exchange so you can see how you can collab together.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think I see some definite synergy, and
I'm gonna put my number in the chat right now.
Okay. And I actually would like you to, I don't know if you're available or not, but you working 9 to 5, or are you?
Right, correct. Yeah, 9 to 5.
Okay.
So I think I'm always working. Truthfully, I never stop working. If I'm not doing the procurement stuff, I'm doing like editing and stuff like that. I do in the evenings, or going to different events in the evenings. I'm doing like videography for. So I feel like I'm always working.
Okay. But you do work a 9 to 5 in the daytime, though.
Oh, okay. Right. Yes. Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was gonna have you come out and talk to my kids, but they're only there during the week. Our BizCamp kids, because I have one young lady who is a photographer, and she wants to do events and so forth and so on. I wanted to, but I'll tell her about it. I'll let her watch the video on some other avenues to traditional photography to enhance her offerings.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, if it's a Friday, for example, I'm available on Fridays. So.
Oh, okay, that could be fine. All right, I'm gonna send you over the information. Yeah, we like to with BizCamp is to bring in business owners that have a certain specialty and to talk to the kids about what that looks like. And
I think the kids are gonna love his drone program, man. They're
Yeah.
gonna love that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so that would be great. And we try to introduce them to different aspects of business, different ways to do business. More importantly, I like to introduce them to something besides t-shirts, jewelry, and lip gloss. So it's really about me, because I hate when they're going, okay, so what are you gonna do different with lipstick and with lip gloss? Are you manufacturing it like a Fendi? Other than that, we ain't doing that. What the heck are you doing?
That's crazy.
But I like to, and that's what I talk to them about. If you're gonna go into photography, how can you stand out? What makes you different? And so the way you're doing it, you are standing out. You're born to be different, right? And that's another aspect, and especially in the real estate industry, being able to see a building from all sides, overhead, inside, and around. Even what the neighborhood looks like if you're going to buy in. So real estate agents, and I know they usually hire a photographer. And a lot of the agencies hire brokerage companies hire agencies, but drones are big. And I know in the luxury marketplace that happens a lot, because a lot of times, their open houses are by appointment only. And then they do big elaborate open houses when they do theirs, when you're selling a $1 million house in the Hollywood Hills.
They need aerial views to sell that. Something like that.
Yeah, they do a lot of aerial views to get you in the area before they bring you into the neighborhood. So
another way in which you can use a drone, man. You always see those police chases, right? On TV. And get your drone involved, man. I've seen that happen where this guy had a drone, and the cops, they're chasing this guy, and he's driving all over the place. And he had his drone, man. So, he's on 1st Street now. He's headed towards 2nd. Oh, he made a left on 2nd.
And a lot of times they actually have it on the bottom of the well, they have a helicopter, so the helicopter is keeping track of them. But sometimes they can't get into certain places.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, but the helicopter can only see like so much, or get so low rather. So
Right, exactly.
to go
Yeah.
around things, kind of maneuver, that wouldn't be a bad idea. And really, to have some type of infrared on like the camera, so if it's at night,
Yeah.
see that. As
And
well.
it's funny, years and years, and I was my early days, I was in my 20s and 30s. I actually dated a guy that was a photographer for the police department. That was what his job was. Yeah, they contracted that one out, and whenever there was an incident, they would call him, and he would go and do the photography for them. They didn't have it in house; they used it outside, and I think he still may be doing that. It was in Orange County.
Okay, that's good work.
Yeah, so
and there's so
something to
much
think
you
about.
can do.
Yeah, that's something else that you can do, bringing your drone in there you go. You won't be doing 9 to 5 at that level then.
I'm gonna say, really.
You get a
You can
contract
do
with the
security work.
LAPD. Yeah, or start here. I would start Long Beach first, because Long Beach seems to be very used. They seem to be very open to working with their those that live in their city. They are real open to that.
Okay, you got
Yeah.
something to do then.
I might have to. May I introduce you to Carolyn Hines? Carolyn lived in Long Beach. And ain't nothing that girl don't know about Long Beach and anybody in it.
She's a Long Beach ambassador.
She's a Long Beach. In fact, she is a commissioner for the city of Long Beach,
Oh,
and
okay.
so she can introduce you to some people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will make that introduction for you. So we're going to close out this show, but we want to thank you for coming on. Please go over to our channel, the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and subscribe to us. I just subscribed, and I got a couple other website YouTube channels that I host. I will make sure you increase your numbers, and then I'll make that intro to you.
Even if it's by one, right?
Yeah, for us, yeah. We're getting close, man. We're getting close. We started this show in a studio. And so in our first 4 or 5 years, everyone was subscribing, but they're subscribing because we were under the banner of the
Another
studio.
entity. Yeah.
And yeah, so she got the numbers, which at first it was cool because, okay, we can use your numbers when we're looking for sponsorship.
Yeah.
But then when the
COVID
pandemic
hit.
happened, when COVID happened, we had to come. We weren't in the studio any longer, and we were on our own. So it's like we've been trying to drive our numbers, and they're like, "But we subscribed." No, you didn't subscribe to us. You subscribed to those to her, and that's fine. But we need you to subscribe again. It's not that difficult.
All right.
It is free.
Free 99.
$3.99. But Byron, it's been fantastic. Thank you for joining us today. I think I read somewhere you had said that you, I think it was on your forum, that you hadn't done any interviews before.
It's my first time actually on a YouTube podcast. So
yeah.
It's different from being like, viewing it. I'm actually a part of it. So,
so what you think? It's been pretty
awesome.
cool.
Ready to do another one now.
Okay. You can always come back.
You weren't too scared?
Oh yeah, no, take a deep breath. You know what I'm saying? Consider myself.
It's
man,
cool.
You see, when Crystal and I started this, man, like I say, it was out of a whim because we had the studio that we were doing it in, live radio. And then the pandemic hit, and they're going, "Hey, you guys get to stay inside. You're not coming out here." So we're going, "No, man, we can't go without talking to our small businesses, man. We're gonna have to reach out and let them know what's going on and support them."
Yeah, no, podcasting is awesome. It's really great for your marketing because you become that expert in that space. So it's been amazing for that process. And then I know I've gotten a lot of contracts based upon it. And I'm sure Gilbert has got folks watch it and don't tell us that they're watching it. Like he said, ninja watchers.
Ninja watchers, man. We're trying, usually when you have ninja watchers, there's like somewhere around 70 to 80% who are ninja watchers. They're not subscribing or anything. So you don't even know they're on there. But when you run the analytics, you go, what? All these people were on there.
And every now and then I get a notification from you going, wow, you hit another milestone. Really? So it's great. But thank you for watching, for being on the show. Please come back. You and Gilbert, I think Gilbert put his information in the chat. If you can pull that out and you copy and paste that. And that way you can you guys can chit chat. I think you guys can do some great stuff together. And for our audience, thank you for joining in, and go over to our QR code. I'm going to put it on the thing right there. Hit that QR code, hit the subscriber. Y'all just heard the conversation we just had. We need you to hit that subscribe button to help us move our numbers. We so appreciate it because we like to grow and monetize this platform. So we're looking for you to help us do that. So thank you guys for joining us. We will be back next week. I think we have a guest next week as well. And we will see you. For everyone, happy Father's Day if you're a dad.
My co-host remembered.
I did. Happy Father's Day. Have a fantastic day. You are very valuable, just like the moms. At least here on the Business Zone, you're the same value. And then for those, the 19th is Juneteenth. Enjoy your Juneteenth. Celebrate our ancestors. And I'm going to end with this. I was in Savannah and Charleston a week ago. And I was at a plantation, and the plantation's farming was rice, and in rice is grown in water, right? And we're looking, going, is that an alligator over there? And that's exactly what was in that water, was alligators, snapping turtles, and water moccasins. And I'm like, I don't know how our ancestors made it, but them some strong ass people. That's what I'm gonna say. Because I don't know how we got here, because I don't know how they stayed there. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, when you see the plantations up front and close and personal, you're going, I don't know how they did it. So there's some magical people. And so please celebrate Juneteenth. Those people, our ancestors went through some stuff for us to be sitting here having a conversation. That's all I'm going to say.
That's right, man. That's right.
All right.
If you're a dad, Byron, I'm sorry. If you're a dad.
Father, not yet, at least.
Okay. Okay. I was getting ready to tell you Happy Father's Day when it comes, man. Because
if you're an uncle or a surrogate
or a godfather,
a godfather, all of those fall into place. I'm not a mom, but I accept all Happy Mother's Day.
You accept flowers just alike, right?
Just like the mamas do.
Oh man!
All righty, guys. It's been fantastic. We will see you next Friday at the same time, 3 o'clock.
For sure. Take care.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a business